All right, thanks, guys. Let's get right into it. The Bulls take on the Magic here this evening, 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off on Friday, February 5th, 2021. Now, the Bulls are the 2-point favorite on the road here. Total's 222 flat. And if you like the Magic in a slight upset at home here, they're plus $1.10 on the money line. We're 2-0 in our last two crowd pleaser teasers on patreon.com/BrockPage. We also have a membership on that site called the Board Member Tier, and that package gives you access to every premium pick that I give out on that site every day through the end of February. It's certainly the best package that I offer. We currently have a community of over 1,125 paid members who are signed up and active on that page. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Orlando's on a 4-game losing streak, losers of 8 out of their last 10 as well. The Magic ranks dead last in offensive field goal percentage, and they score only 103 points a game at the Amway Center. Orlando's also been victorious in just 4 out of 11 home games, and they successfully cover the number in only 36% of those contests. Aminu, Gordon, and Carter Williams are still out for the Magic. Now they're taking on a Chicago team who's gone 8-2 against the number in their road games this season. They rank in the top 3 in road scoring, top 10 in shooting the 3-ball away from home as well. Zach LaVine scoring 27 points a game along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Lauri Markkanen scoring 20 points a game himself along with 6 rebounds as well. The Bulls are averaging 119 points a game on the road, and they make 50% of their field goals in that same category. Now, total-wise, Chicago's gone 60% to the over in their road games this season. Orlando's gone 4-1 to the over in their last 5 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Chicago Bulls -2 in the over 222. And once again here, guys, if you're new to this channel here this week, just want to take another quick time out here and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's NBA basketball action. Happy Friday to you, TGIF. The weekend is finally here, guys. I'm having a little bit of problems with my left contact this morning, so if I'm like blinking at you and stuff and like twitching at you, don't be alarmed. It's this contact right here. But anyway, I hate contacts, by the way. I need to get that LASIK thing. But anyway, before we dive into some more free content, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we've won our last 2 straight crowd pleaser teasers on patreon.com/BrockPage. We also have a board member tier package that gives you access to all of my premium picks that I give out on that site every day until the end of February. It's our top tier membership. And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on Patreon, you're going to get access to all the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and my Patreon site, well, what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 4 to 5 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success wagering on games that way in smaller sample sizes versus betting on every single game on the slate, side and total, like I do here with my free leans on YouTube. Now, we currently have over 1,125 paid members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, the link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on here, guys, we got ourselves a bunch of games here tonight. Pretty healthy slate of NBA action. So let's go ahead and dive into some more free content here. I'm talking about the Pelicans versus the Pacers, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern start time at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Now, the Pacers are -2, totals 226.5. And if you like the Pels in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.20 for an outright win. Now, the Pels have lost 5 out of their last 8 ball games, just 3-7 straight up in their 10 road games as well. The Pelicans rank in the bottom 10 in road scoring, and they make just 69% of their free throws when they travel. They're taking on a Pacer team who averages 114 points a night, and they're in the top 10 in three-point shooting at home. Malcolm Brogdon scoring over 23 points a game, along with 4 rebounds and 7 assists. Meanwhile, Domantas Sabonis is scoring 22 a night himself, along with a dozen boards and 6 assists as well. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, 6 out of the Pacers' last 10 meetings with New Orleans did stay under the number. The Pels saw 5 out of their last 10 road games stay under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Indiana Pacers -2 and the under 226.5. All right, next matchup I have for you. It is going to be Raptors versus the Nets, 7:30 p.m. East. Now, the Nets are -4 at home. Total's 242. Brooklyn's won 5 out of their last 6 ball games, 10-4 straight up at the Barclays Center. The Nets are scoring over 122 points a game, and they make nearly 41% of their 3 balls. Kevin Durant is averaging 31 points a game, along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving is scoring nearly 29 a night himself, along with 5 rebounds and 6 assists as well. They're taking on a Toronto team who's lost 7 out of their last 10 road games, and they covered the number in just 40% of those contests. Now, the Raps are in the bottom 5 in the NBA in offensive rebounding, and they also give up nearly 115 points a game when they travel. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the scoring in this one, Toronto's 8-2 to the under in their last 10 against an Atlantic Division opponent. So if you're into historical trends there, that may be something to consider. Meanwhile, Brooklyn saw 5 out of their last 10 meetings with the Raps stay under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Brooklyn Nets -4 and the under 242. All right, next contest, it is going to be Bucks versus the Cavs, 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Milwaukee is -11, totals 227.5. But the Bucks are covering just 30% of their road games. They also went just 4-6 straight up in those very games away from home. And believe it or not here, guys, Milwaukee's dead last in the association in defending the 3-ball on the road. They allow 116 points per contest when they travel. They're taking on a Cleveland squad who's 7-5 straight up at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, 7-5 against the number in those home games. Cleveland's in the top 10 in the NBA defensively in points allowed, top 10 in home defensive rebounding. Now, Colin Sexton scoring over 24 points a game, along with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Do keep an eye on Sexton, as he is questionable. If you're looking to fire on this game, you're going to have to keep up with his status throughout the day. Now, Andre Drummond's bringing down 15 rebounds a night, along with 18 points and a couple of steals. The Cavs are in the top 10 defensively in fourth quarter points allowed. Now, total-wise, Cleveland's last 4 straight all stayed under the number, 64% to the under overall for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Cleveland Cavs +11 and the under 227.5. All right, next contest, it is going to be Timberwolves versus the Thunder, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. The Minnesota T-Wolves are -3 on the road, totals 218.5. But despite being favored in this one, I think this might be the first or second game they've been favored all season. But Minnesota's on a 2-game losing streak, 2-8 straight up in their last 10. The T-Wolves have also lost 9 out of their 10 road games on the season, and they rank dead last in road offensive field goal percentage. Now, Russell Reed and Hernan Gomez are all questionable for Minnesota. The Timberwolves allow nearly 120 points a game on the road. Now, they're taking on an OKC squad who's 4-2 against the number in their last 6 ball games, and they rank in the top 10 in defending the 3-ball. OKC also finds themselves in the top 10 defensively in second quarter points allowed. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort are either listed as doubtful or out, according to differing reports. I'm just going to say this. The T-Wolves have just been playing so bad this season that I still don't know if the absence of those 2 players on OKC, I don't think that can catapult Minnesota into a 3-point cover on the road. I'm just not sure they can do it. Now, if you're wondering who the heck is going to score here tonight for the Thunder, Al Horford's averaging 13 points a game for OKC, along with 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Meanwhile, Hammy Diallo's scoring a dozen a game, along with 3 rebounds himself. Now, total-wise, 2 out of OKC's last 3 got over the number. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10. Now, on the other side of things, 8 out of Minnesota's last 10 meetings with OKC got over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the OKC Thunder +3 and the over 218.5. All right, next matchup here. It is going to be Wizards versus the Heat, 8 p.m. East. The Miami Heat are -7 at home, totals 228. Now the Heat's dropped 7 out of their last 8 ball games, just 1-7 against the number during that stretch as well. Miami successfully covered the point spread in just 3 out of their last 12 home games, and they rank dead last in the NBA in offensive rebounding. Now Harkless, Silva, and Bradley are all out for tonight's action. Vincent and Dragic are questionable. The Heat's averaging just 106 points per contest on their home court. Now they're taking on a Wizards team who won 2 out of their last 3 ball games, and they actually find themselves 5-4 against the number in their 9 road games. Now the Wizards are in the top 5 in scoring, and they actually lead the NBA defensively in third quarter points allowed away from home. Bradley Beal is scoring 35 a night along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook is scoring 21 a game himself along with 10 boards and 10 assists. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Washington's last 7 stayed under the number, 5-4 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, 6 out of Miami's last 9 stayed under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Washington Wizards +7 and the under 228. All right, next matchup that I have for you on the big screen behind me, it is going to be the Utah Jazz versus the Charlotte Hornets, and that's going to be an 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off in Charlotte. Now, the Utah Jazz are -7 away from home here, totals 222. The Jazz have won 13 out of their last 14 ball games, 13-1 against the number in those contests. Utah leads the NBA in offensive rebounding, top 3 in shooting the 3 ball on the road. Donovan Mitchell scoring 23 points a game along with 4 rebounds and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Mike Conley is also scoring 17 points a night himself along with 3 rebounds and 6 assists a night as well. The Jazz are 8-3 straight up on the road, and they rank in the top 3 defensively in points allowed. Now they're taking on a Charlotte team who's just 5-6 straight up at the Spectrum Center, and they average just 107 points a game there. Charlotte's in the bottom 10 in the NBA in scoring. They're also in the bottom 10 in offensive rebounding. Now, one of their leading scorers, Terry Rozier, he's also questionable with an ankle injury, so keep an eye on him if you're looking to fire on this game. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Charlotte's 11 home games did stay under the posted number. Meanwhile, 4 out of Utah's last 6 stayed under the line themselves. Give me the Utah Jazz -7 and the under 222. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Pistons versus the Suns, 9 p.m. Eastern start time in the desert. The Phoenix Suns are -8, totals 214.5. The Suns have won 3 out of their last 4 ball games, 3-1 against the number in those contests. Phoenix is in the top 5 defensively in points allowed. They're also in the top 10 in defending the 3 ball. Devin Booker scoring over 23 points a game along with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Chris Paul is scoring nearly 17 points a night himself, 5 rebounds and 9 assists for the multi-time All-Star. I believe he's actually the double-digit All-Star. I think he's been there 10 times or so. But anyway, the Suns hold their opponents to just 107 points a game at the Phoenix Arena. They're taking on a Detroit squad who dropped 7 out of their last 9, and they went just 3-6 against the number in those contests. Now, the Pistons are just 1-9 straight up on the road this season, and they rank dead last in road offensive rebounding. Detroit's also allowing nearly 120 points a night when they travel. Okafor's out, Ellington's questionable, and when it comes to the number in this one, Detroit's 70% to the over in their last 10, 8-2 to the over on the road. Meanwhile, Phoenix saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the line themselves, 4-3 to the over in their last 7. I'm going to lean toward the Phoenix Suns -8 and the over 214.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Celtics versus the Clippers, 10 p.m. Eastern start time in Los Angeles. The Clippers are the 6-point favorite at home, numbers 221. And if you like the Celtics in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.90 for some money line cash. Now, Boston dropped 3 out of their last 4 ball games. Brown and Walker are both listed as questionable according to reports. The Celtics have covered in just 41% of their road games, and they rank in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, they're taking on a Clipper team who makes nearly 49% of their field goals themselves. And they also find themselves 8-2 straight up in their last 10. LA's winning 80% of their home games, and they lead the NBA in three-point shooting. Now, Kawhi Leonard is scoring over 26 points a night, along with 5 boards and a couple of steals. We also want to take a look at Paul George, who's scoring 24 points a game himself, along with 6 rebounds and 6 assists as well. LA's in the top 3 in defensive rebounding, and they hold their opponents to just 107 points per contest. Now, total-wise, LA's last 3 straight got over the posted number, 60% to the over as the official home team. Meanwhile, Boston saw 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Los Angeles get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the LA Clippers -6 and the over 221. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 2-0 in our last 2 crowd pleaser teasers on that site. I like the Bulls -2 over 222. I'm also leaning toward the Pacers -2 under 226.5. Give me the Nets -4 under 242. Give me the Cavaliers +11 under 227.5. I like OKC +3 over 218.5. I'm also leaning toward the Wizards +7 under 228. Jazz -7 under 222. Suns -8 over 214.5. And before I give you my next and final game for the show, one final reminder that you can access all of my premium Patreon picks by signing up to my board member tier package. You'll get all of my picks every day through the end of February in that board member tier. Give me the LA Clippers -6 and the over 221. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs to our top 10 YouTube commenters over the past couple of days or so. Shout out to DJ Wavy, Words of Wisdoms, Abdurrahman Muhammad, Straight to the Point, H. Sandu, Ryan Mikulski, Isaiah Moore, Alan Francis Pablo. Shout out to Juan Gomez. And last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my man, Michael Heineman. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.